Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the MindShare PodCast. This is where we cut through the noise, say the things that need to be said, and give you real strategies to help you work smarter, build better relationships, and grow a business that actually makes money. This is episode number 338. And if you're feeling behind on your 2025 goals, don't worry. We're hitting the reset button right now. This is your 30-day reset. The exact moves you need to make right now to turn 2025 around. So it's the first week of June, and I've got a question for you. How are those goals looking right now? Like, if you're crushing it, amazing. Let's go. Keep going. But if you're behind, if you're frustrated, if you're flat out stuck, you're not alone right now. This is the halfway mark of the year. And if you're not where you thought you'd be by now, hey, don't panic. Simply reset. See, today we're going to break down the exact strategies, exactly what to do over the next 30 days to get back in the game, to potentially rebuild that pipeline and finish Q2 with some real momentum. So let's get into it. First part here is be honest with yourself. Like, forget the bullshit, okay? Let's look at your numbers. Where are you at? How are they looking? Are you on pace? Are you not on pace? Have you been focused on them? Did you map them out back, say 6-7 months ago and think, hey, I'm just going to, hope for the best? Or are you literally like every single day looking at those numbers and trying to understand, what am I doing? What am I not doing? What's being accomplished? What's not being accomplished? Am I moving towards what it is that I truly want? And I've said it so many times before, and I'll say it again. I get it. It sounds fluffy. It sounds like woo-woo. I'm working towards my goals. And the people are sitting there, and I know I did this for years, but I got bills to pay. Screw this shit. I need to get stuff done. I'm busy. I'm running like crazy. I never have enough time. I don't even have time to track my goals. But seriously, if you're not looking at those numbers, what accountability do you have to yourself to try to achieve what it is that you want? And if you are looking at the numbers and you're realizing that you're not on par, you're not on pace for where you want to be, you got to ask yourself why. Again, what am I not doing? Or what's taking up that time? Or what am I prioritizing instead of me? And look, I'll tell you, I prioritize my kids. I prioritize, the household. I prioritize a lot of things above and beyond me when it comes to running my household, my family, the roof over our head, the food in the fridge. I mean, let's be real. If Jen was listening to that, she'd laugh. She'd be like, you don't go to the grocery store. No, honey, I do not. But when I do, we go straight to the meat counter. We pick up some wicked steaks or some great stuff for barbecue and anyway, sorry, sidebar. Let's get back to the show at hand here. Seriously speaking, when you think about your numbers and you think about what it is that you want, the focus needs to be on you. And as much as I just joked about the fact that, well, I don't joke. I mean, I say it seriously that, the household and the family and the kids and everything else come first. They really do. But truth be told, I do. If I don't come first for me, above and beyond even them, how am I going to be in the best shape for them? Hence why, every single day, we're tracking our numbers. What did you accomplish yesterday? Did you go to the gym? Yes or no? Mark it down. Did you eat properly? Yes or no? Mark it down. Did you read your book yesterday? Yes or no? Mark it down. Did you make your phone calls? Do your text messages? Do your DMs? Did you meet somebody? Mark it down. Again, the personal goals and the business goals need focus, and they need to be focused every single day. So be honest with yourself. Are you focused? And ask yourself, how many deals have I done right now? Ask yourself how many leads that you have right now. How many are active? And I'm talking people that you're talking to, that you're having conversations with, that are, have maybe inquired for more information. Maybe want to speak to you further. Maybe you've had further conversation with them. But are you staying in touch? Are you waiting for them to get in touch? Are you leaving it to them, or are you doing your job? And if you think your job is to just help people buy and sell real estate or market the property, negotiate the deal, and I'll tell you, yes, yes, yes to all those different boxes I just listed, But the one intangible that people truly, truly miss, and this is like in everything in life. This could be business, it could be personal, it could be sports, anything. Communication. Again, are you communicating with your clients? This comes back to generating more opportunities. Are you communicating with your clients? This comes back to servicing existing opportunities. Are you communicating with people who are interested in doing something or have expressed that interest at some point, had the conversation? Or again, are you waiting for people to communicate with you? How about this? When was the last time that you booked a listing appointment? And maybe you're like, I just got one yesterday. Maybe you're like, I've had all sorts coming lately. I mean, one thing we know too is that a few years back, when you got that listing appointment, listings were gold. Now I know a ton of agents who are sitting on a whole bunch of handfuls of listings, if not more. And they're barely getting any showings right now. But the question again becomes, are you taking the steps, putting in the work, doing what needs to be done to get those appointments, to get those opportunities? Are you tracking what you're doing every single day? And look, I get it again. I don't want to track it. Why don't you want to track it? Well, because every time I look at it, I'm not doing the work. It actually brings me down because my numbers aren't going up. Progress over results. It's not about I knocked on that door to get the deal. It's not about I made that phone call, didn't get the deal. It's about knocking on the door. It's about making the phone call. It's about posting that video. It's about reaching out to somebody new. It's the effort that we put in that produces the results that we want. And if you're not putting in the effort, and again, let's be honest with ourselves right now, how much can you truly be disappointed in what the market's doing or how much business you're not getting? Or how you're not growing or accomplishing whatever it is, again, business or personal. Like if you're not focused and you're not tracking the efforts and you're not paying attention to where you're good and where you're bad, and straight up, good or bad, let's just go black and white on this thing. Every single day is an opportunity to reset. See, too many people think that just simply like effort alone trying to think about how to put that into context here, right? Like too many people think that if they're focused on what needs to be done in terms of just thinking about it, if they're like, yeah, I know, but then when the moment comes, they don't take action, then there's not going to be any outcome to that effort, right? There's not going to be any there will be an outcome. If you don't do anything, you won't get anything. But it's got to be daily, right? We can't just be staying busy. We've got to be focused on what we're supposed to be doing to be productive. So again, be honest with yourself. Are you tracking those goals? Are you focused on a daily basis right now? And again, we're looking at our 30-day sort of reset plan right now, right here smack dab in the middle of the year. Which means if the first half of the year didn't go exactly how you wanted it to go, and we do always need to keep outside factors in mind, because there will be outside factors that you cannot control, such as what is the market doing? Therefore, how much GCI or how many ends am I closing? But there's so many other things we could be taking advantage of. So again, we need to be tracking. We need to be focused. We need to be doing the actions. And again, effort will produce results, but no action, no outcome, or no action, no result. You'll definitely have an outcome. It just won't be the one that you want. And then that's where at the end of this year, you're going to sit back and go, man, I gotta do a new reset. I gotta find a new me. I gotta be a new version of myself. Well, holy shit, you just let another year pass by. Come on now. What are we waiting for over here? Like what's actually taking control of why you're not hitting your goals or why you're not focused on what you want in life? And yes, if you are going to look and you are tracking your numbers and you do see it for yourself, I'm not where I want to be at this moment. Beautiful. Look ahead. We got an entire 6 months ahead of us after this. It's all the time in the world to make this work for this year. And remembering too, that all this is just a bigger life plan. Right? This is just a bigger step towards. It's like if we're tracking the goals daily and we're focused on what we got to do daily, there's small, tiny little incremental steps. They're totally possible. But then when we look at the year is the bigger, sort of like a small incremental step towards like life. It's not easy to see the future. I mean, nobody could truly see the future. And by the way, if you are a regular listener, first I want to thank you. Second, if you could see the future, please reach out. Focus, okay? Be honest with yourself where you're at right now. All right, next. So let's say we're honest and we're taking a good look at this and we realize that we are or are not doing the work. We are thinking to ourselves that, I got to be better at tracking. We're looking at the opportunities we're creating for ourselves. We're looking at, again, the focus that we have on our goals. And maybe we're not. Maybe it's just like, okay, what do I do right now, Dave? You got me. This first, 10 minutes of this podcast today, you've convinced me. I need to focus. Well, boy, I'm glad you're there. Did you hear that little slurp? You know what that was, right? This podcast is brought to you by Ember Mugs. No, it's not. It's not. We totally do not have any type of partnership with them, but I got to tell you, I love the mug. My coffee's still hot. All right. If you like coffee, seriously, check out Ember. This is so free for them. Somebody tag them in this thing. Let them know that David continues to promote the shit out of your business. Actually, I will tell you. Real cool story here as we talk about experience. Let's jump off to left field for a second together, okay? So a few years back, I get this mug, coffee mug, for, I don't know, if the holidays, my birthday, whatever it was. Jennifer bought it for me. But bottom line, it comes with a coaster, and the coaster plugs in the wall or, whatever, an outlet, and the mug sits on the coaster, and the mug stays hot. And it keeps your coffee hot, and it keeps it, hot to, the exact temperature that you want it at. Anyways, fast forward. It stopped charging the way, it did when I first got it. Like any of the technology today, it only lasts so long. But in this case here, I was every once in a while I'd make a coffee, and then I'd post a little story, and I'd tag Ember. And they'd come back to me and they'd say, thanks for tagging us. And you could tell legitimately it was somebody answering the question. It wasn't some bot. Or answering the question, giving me feedback. It wasn't some bot. So anyways, this goes on for some time, and they came back to me one day and they're like, we really, really appreciate all the promotion and everything you're doing, and all the, every time you post and whatever they said, some nice stuff, and they're just very grateful for me sharing the good word, right? And I said, it's thanks so much for reaching out. It's it's real cool to talk with you guys. It's legitimately, my mug actually isn't working the way it should anymore. They're like, what? And they got all shocked about it. And here I am promoting them and not saying anything negative, but then they reach out to me and I tell them, I'm like, yeah, it's not working the way I want it to. Anyhow, lo and behold, we're going through this back and forth on DM on Instagram. And all of a sudden I get an email a few days later from Ember, and it says to me something along the lines of we realize you have a problem with the mug and we want to get you another one, blah, 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 blah. And they started asking me all this shipping details. And I thought, this is wild. I'm talking to somebody who's probably their social media manager, who's responding to DMs and maybe posting their content. That person obviously went and spoke to somebody else at the office, at the company, to let them know there was a problem. They then reached out to me through a separate channel by email to acknowledge and rectify the problem, which I never even said to them, hey, I'm upset or I want something for it. I just was making conversation. Next thing you know, fast forward this story, about a week later, I've got a brand new mug with a coaster. Everything is here. And you're thinking wow. Talk about customer service. Talk about experience. Hence why I am talking about Ember. Anyways, let's come back. We're going to leave left field now. We're going to come back to the ball game over here, right? So here's where we were going before we had our little commercial break. In fact, speaking of commercial break, let's have another one. Oh, nice cup of coffee. All right, let's go. Reset plan. Okay, so we just talked about goals. We talked about being honest with ourselves. Now I've got a 30-day challenge for you. Okay, and it's going to start right now, today. You listen to this episode. Yes, I don't care what day it is that you listen to the episode. In fact, I do care. Like, if you listen to this episode, like, in 3 weeks from now, by the way, we are at the top of June. Why didn't you listen to this episode 3 weeks ago? Like, what were you doing? You didn't stop your entire life to listen to the MindShare podcast? I was going to say I don't care when you listen to the episode, but I think I do care when you listen to the episode. Like, I mean, I don't really care. I just, like, I guess I care that you listen to the episode. And speaking of, a big thank you to all of you that do listen to the episode, and an even bigger thank you to those of you that, I guess it was like a digital punch in the face. Like, how many of you came back to me after I said to you about maybe stopping or slowing down the podcast that you guys like I had people swearing at me, like, in good jest, but like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no, do not get rid of your podcast. Or, Dave, are you stupid? No, I don't know if anybody asked me that, but point is, seems like people like the podcast, so. And I truly enjoy it too. I do. It's just as you're a business owner, you're always looking at time, money, ROI, and if you're not, you're just getting up and you're spinning your wheels in the mud. So it's important, no matter what you're doing, how long you've been doing it for, do not get complacent, and that's one thing we were trying not to do. But I heard you loud and clear, and that's why we are back, or we are here, or we haven't gone anywhere, or we're not going anywhere. Anyways, okay. 30-day challenge starts right now. Number 1, audit your time. Think about it. Where is your time going every day? What are you doing every day? Oh, Dave, I got so much to do. I got to take care of the house, and I got to run with clients, and I got to do my prospecting, and I got to go to the office, and I got to scroll social media and stalk other people and check the MLS, and got to make the beds, clean up the kitchen. Yeah, I get it. Got to take the kids to sports. Yellow. But seriously, where does your time go? I came home the other day. I came home from a presentation. I was sitting in my office doing some, sitting at my office at home and doing some work and in some meetings. And then at one point I got up. The kids were home from school. I said hi to them and I, kissed them both, said hello. And I walked out the door and I went to the gym. And I went and did a nice 90-minute workout. In that time, I'm doing some DMs and text messages with people. I'm on the phone with some people. And I'm doubling down in that time if I'm not, and then if I'm not doing that, I'm reading my book. Okay. But I come home. And I'm like, all right, dude, let's go, to my son, Josh. Like, let's roll. He had baseball practice. And he gets his stuff, and, we get in the car, and we go, and he's like, Dad, I don't know how you do it, man. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you move from one place to another place, like, all day, every day. You're just go, 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 and everything, you always seem just relaxed about it. You're doing so much. You're talking to so many people. You're in so many different places. Like, you don't stop. I looked at him like, that's it, buddy. And you're thinking, like, a great teaching moment for my son. Right? For him to be able to see the structure, the organization, the preparation, and the execution. Seamless, flawless. And I'm not saying we don't make mistakes. What I'm saying, though, is when we talk about auditing our time, step number 1, your 30-day challenge, you're going to audit your time. Where is your time going every day? What kind of distractions are getting in the way? What can you do to get rid of those distractions? And again, is your time focused as much as it possibly can be on your goals? Because if it's not focused on your goals, it's focused on somebody else's wants, needs, desires, but not your own. So number 1 is audit your time. Where is your time actually going? Look at your schedule, map it out, get a sense of what you did. In fact, one thing that I do here, a little pro tip, I will go back 30 days and actually look at how much time did I spend on phone calls, emails, social media, with my kids, at sports, prepping for presentations, working with my team on different business, tactics. I go through everything and I try to itemize it and understand how much time went to different places. And it's let's be straight. It's a pain in the ass. It's tedious work. But you know what a story it tells you? And then you sit back and you go, okay, I know what I got to do to adjust. This comes right back to the same thing we just talked about. When it came to the goals, are you tracking or are you just winging? Okay. The second part of the challenge here. In fact, there's 5 parts. Okay. There's going to be 5 parts here that I'm going to give you. So the second part is to rebuild your routine. Okay. So first one here is to audit your time. And sorry, you can hear the background noise. I am pouring some more coffee. I mean, here, this is a nod to Starbucks. I got this little thermos that I've been using for many, many years, and it keeps the coffee hot for hours. And if you got one message from this podcast today, let it be that I like hot coffee. If that's the one message you take away from today's podcast, seriously, we are not focused properly. All right. But I totally am. I got wicked coffee. All right, so the second one here is rebuild your routine. Think about your mornings. Maybe in the morning you want to focus on lead gen if you haven't been doing enough lead gen. Maybe you've been waiting for the afternoon to do it, but it just hasn't been coming around the way you want it to. So change it up, right? If afternoons were lead gen and you haven't been doing it as much, turn the mornings into lead gen. Maybe turn the afternoons into follow-up. See, what we want right now when we talk about the routine, we want 2 hours a day minimum where we're actually talking to real people. And I will say, yes, I want you to take advantage of DMs and connect with individuals. But what I don't want you to do is spending all day on social media pretending that because you scroll social media, you talk to people. There's an aspect of it that is you talking to people, and I highly encourage you to make it part of your day. That being said, I'm talking about legit, real conversations with real people. Okay, 2 hours a day minimum. Think about where you split your time when you do that. Think about what time of the day you have been doing that. Think about if you've been sticking to it. And then rebuild that. The third one here is to reignite your database. Okay, think about going back, say, 12, 24 months. Reconnect with everybody. I mean, if you've got your database, which you should have your database on the 10-year plan, your bulletproof follow-up system that if you, again, have been with me in a coaching session as one-to-one, group coaching with our MindShare Collective, or even training with Momentum, I've said this from the stage in keynotes, right? We always want to be thinking about the 10-year plan and the follow-up system so that we really never forget to follow up. Okay, but the goal here, when I say reignite with the database, reconnect with everybody. Whether you're doing it through phone calls, text messages, DMs, voice notes, just do some quick check-ins. Actually show up. Call. And I know I have these conversations often where it's like, I know I'm supposed to make the phone calls, and I get to the point where I'm supposed to make the phone call, and I don't make the phone call. What do I do to make the phone call? And yesterday I was in a coaching call, and I suggested to one of my clients, I said, I want you to ask yourself how you're going to feel if you don't make the call. I want you to ask yourself, what kind of results you're going to get if you don't make the call? And in that moment, when you know you're supposed to make the call, you've scheduled to make the call, but you're procrastinating to make the call, I want you to think about what happens after. I want you to think about the position that you're going to be in, that you put yourself in because you decided not to pick up that phone or not to send that message. And in fact, what are you scared of? What is the fear? That they're going to tell you I'm not interested? That somebody's going to tell you, stop calling me? That somebody's not going to pick up the phone? Or moreover, that somebody's actually going to say hello and want to talk to you? I mean, either way you slice it, putting in the effort is what's going to produce the results. Those are the actions that need to be taken. Okay, so again, your challenge here in step 3 is to reignite that database. Be honest with yourself again, and make sure that you're in touch with every single person in that contact list. Do not judge a book by its cover. Somebody there is looking to do something. Somebody there knows somebody who's looking to do something. And if you're not making the calls, if you're not doing the reach outs, if you're not doing these quick check-ins, if you're not showing up, somebody else is, I promise you. The fourth one here. Think about it, creating one campaign. Okay? Think about creating something like a move-up challenge, a seller checklist. And we talked about this recently as well in another episode. But, move-up challenge, a seller checklist, a webinar. Think about something that could help solve a problem, not just sell a house. How could you help people? Maybe right now it's about talking to people and say, hey, we're going to do a webinar on what you need to know when it comes to listing your property and what buyers need to know when it comes to buying. Because at this moment right now, with the market being what it is and the economy being what it is and the uncertainty being what it is and this kind of underlying tone of optimism that we all keep having, which is a positive for sure about what the market will do soon enough. Well, the spring market didn't bring it to us. We're all hoping the fall market will bring it to us. In saying that, there's a lot of buyers and sellers out there who are looking to make a move, but they need to be educated. And if you're the one educating, communicate to educate, you will build the MindShare. So when you think about create one campaign, create something that people will be attracted to, they will interest in, they will therefore have a desire to want to take action. And that action becomes a phone call or a conversation with you. And number 5, track like a CEO. You are the CEO. You are the chief executive officer of you. So what do your weekly metrics look like? Your dailies, your weeklies? Again, how many new leads came in? How many new conversations happened? How many appointments did you book? How many listings did you, presentations did you have? It's not about guessing. I think it was. This is about measuring. I measure every one-to-one meeting we have. I want to know how many did we have. I measure how many phone calls we made in a day between myself and my team. I want to know how many text messages were sent in a day. I want to know how many DMs we had in a day. I want to know how many posts on social media we did in a day. How many email blasts were sent out in a day. How many new contacts were added to our database in a day. Every day. See, I could see where the growth is and I can see where the dips are. Then I can measure why did the growth happen? What did we do? And I can also measure why the dips happen. What didn't we do? And then I can leverage that data to say, hey, all right, I know what we're going to do next. We need a lift in business or things were working then. What was working? Well, let's look. That's what was working. Okay, let's go do more of that. See, if you're not tracking like a CEO, you're literally just getting up and you're putting the keys in the ignition and, driving to the office and pretending to be, successful, productive. I mean, maybe you're just using busy as an excuse. But that's not how you run a business, right? That's like a worker bee. That's like somebody who gets up and goes to work 9 to 5. You're not a 9 to 5er. You're a, 25-hour a day, 8-day a week machine. And within that 25 hours a day and 8 days a week, we need to find time for both business and life. Hence why we schedule. Hence why we track metrics from personal to business. What's working, what's not. See the theme we have here? It's not about guessing, it's about measuring. Okay, again, so number 5 is track like a CEO. So we set the stage by talking about, this honest assessment, right? Now we talk about this reset plan of like, what can I do? And I gave you this 30-day challenge. Number 1, audit your time. Number 2, rebuild your routine. Number 3 is reignite the database. Number 4 is to create a campaign. And number 5 is to track like a CEO. I challenge you. Over these next 30 days, this month of June, this is how you reset. This is how you get your year on track. And if you're on track, keep it going. You can still implement this. It's a great way to polish. What am I doing? Is it working? What else can I do? How do I continue to grow? Put that stuff in place, okay? I'm challenging you right now to make it happen. Now, let's take a quick commercial break here. So if you reserved your seat for the MindShare Mastermind happening in Toronto on September 15th to 17th. Now, this isn't just another event where you sit and listen. Here, you're an active participant. Bring your challenges and goals, and we will help you find solutions. See, our speakers bring fresh perspectives and, real innovative ideas that spark creativity and open your mind to new possibilities. And look, past speakers include the VP of Foot Locker, a former marketing executive from Budweiser, a Fortune 500 branding expert, a mentalist, and so many more amazing people. And this year's lineup, just as exciting, but you're going to have to be there to find out. See, as we usually do, we're keeping most of the details under wraps, but rest assured, it will be an unforgettable experience for you. And one thing I will share is that you will get to enjoy very healthy and delicious meals featuring some of the best cuisine that Toronto has to offer. Plus, you get 30-day free access to the MindShare Collective group coaching and 1 free coaching call with me after the event. Look, this mastermind is designed to provide you with the tools, the strategies, and the connections that you need to drive your success and elevate your business. Do not wait. We've got limited seats left, like literally under 10 seats left. Don't wait. Reserve your spot. Do it today and join us for an absolutely empowering experience. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program here. So things not to do as we think about this reset. Okay, and we look at this month of June right now. Do not wait for the market to save you. It won't. It's not going to happen. Okay, the market's going to continue to do what it does. It's going to continue to move up and down like a roller coaster. The waves. You're going to have to figure out where you fit into all that. You're going to have to figure out what it really takes for you to make the most of it. Okay? But whether it's what you might think to be a bad market, we know it's not a good market, but I'm going to say it's an adjusted market. I'm going to say it's a professionals market. This is where, again, you're going to see a lot of people drop off because they can't handle it, and you're going to see other people really, truly succeed. In fact, some people not only succeed, some people are going to make the most of this moment right now, and this is going to propel the next 5 to 10 years of their career. So no matter what the market's doing, don't wait for it. You got to make things happen. Okay? Another thing not to do, don't blame your brokerage. Don't blame the election. Don't blame Mother Nature, the weather. By pointing fingers and saying, oh, but it's their fault. Oh, but because of this. Oh, but because of that. We call those excuses. And most people like to ride on excuses. Most people leverage excuses so they don't have to do jack shit. Oh, but because of blah, 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 I can't do. Okay, cool. How about you step the hell out of my way because I got shit to do? And that's the mentality we need to have. Because again, most people are soft. Most people will allow the problems, the issues, the roadblocks, the stumbling blocks, the speed bumps, all that shit to slow them down. Other people fly right through that stuff, but that's a very small percentage of people. But that small percentage are the small percentage that typically win. So don't go pointing fingers. Take a real look in the mirror. And another one, don't scroll social media pretending it's market research. All day long on social, stalking other people. Constantly doom scrolling from stories to the feed, watching what everybody else is doing, looking at their successes, wondering why you're not having it. Maybe because you're scrolling Instagram. But Dave, don't you tell us to use Instagram? Yes, I do. And I tell you to schedule Instagram. I tell you to schedule everything. In fact, that's a big starting point that we talked about today. Again, are you tracking your efforts? Being honest with yourself. Audit your time. So yes, leverage the socials. But don't sit back thinking that because you got up in the morning, bumbled around, did breakfast, got the kids to school, cleaned up the house, then went to the office and scrolled Instagram, that you're going to make a living or be a successful agent. No. See, there's got to be a bigger play and a bigger strategy to it, and social media needs to be a line item in your day. It is a distraction. It is a bright, shiny object. It is constantly pulling at us to try to bring us in, which tears us down. So be structured with social the way you're structured with anything else, a listing presentation, your kid's school play, a birthday dinner. It's got to be scheduled. It's got to be focused on. Can't just spend hours on end hiding behind a screen thinking, hey, as long as I do this, I could say I'm in real estate. Get the hell out of here. Come on. Okay, so don't wait for the market. Don't point fingers, and don't sit there scrolling social thinking you're working. See, this reset isn't about doing more right now. This is about doing what matters for you. Okay, this is about doing the proper actions that you need to do in order to have the success that you want. And again, if you've mapped out the goals properly, and I know my coaching clients personally have, you've got them right there in front of you. And we've already talked about what to do and how to deal with it if you're not getting there yet. Now, to kind of take us home here, I want you to think about recommitting to the overall bigger picture of what it is that you want. I want to ask you something. These goals that I continue to talk about, why'd you set them in the first place? Like, why did you actually mark those goals down? And if you're thinking it's because that's what I want, that's where I want to be, it's who I want to be, it's what I want to have, whatever. But seriously, why did you set them in the first place? Like if I said I put down, I've shared this one with you guys before, but like date nights, right? Like I want to go on one date night a month. That's 12 times in a year. Go figure it, 365 days. I got to struggle to find 12 times in a year where Jennifer and I can go out, just the two of us. And I got to tell you, that is hard. Really, really hard to do. You know, with kids and the busy sports life and everything else, it's just tough to get like her and I time. But let's come back to this. Why did I set that goal in the first place? Well, because that's where this all started. Me and her. Before Joshua, before Leah, before the business, before anything. It was me and her. And we want to make sure that that spark and that fire continues to stay lit, which it certainly does. Moreover, though, why did I set that goal? Is so I could focus in on my relationship with my best friend in the world. Right? So I ask you again, why did you set your goals in the first place? Why did you put that item down? What was it? Remind yourself about that. Like if I put down a goal for, let's say, weight or exercise or food, it's overall so I could get in better shape. Feel better about me. Feel better physically so that I, can be better for my family. So we got to come back to why do we set those goals? And then I want you to think, what's the real win behind that number, that goal that I put? Let's say it's a dollar value, a GCI. Let's say it's a number of deals. What's the win? Like, why that number? You looking for more freedom? You looking for more time? Is this a lifestyle change for you? See, if we don't understand the why do we set the goal? And if we don't understand what the end result is supposed to be, what's that win supposed to symbolize? Then that's part of the reason why we don't remain motivated to stay, engaged and driven towards accomplishing. We just kind of wing it. Because maybe we forgot the end game. I know a lot of people sometimes will write down goals that they're just fluffy. They don't have substance to them. There's nothing there that truly motivates them to want to do. They just kind of put it down because it sounded like the thing to do in the month of November or December. Everybody else was doing it, so I'm a sheep. I'm just going to follow people. Oh, I just pictured your reaction as I did that. But think about it, right? Remind yourself, right now, as you think about the month of June, where you're at, what you're doing, why? Why did you lay out that roadmap? What's the bigger picture behind it? What are you trying to accomplish? Because once you hit that, there's a wicked, awesome reminder smack dab in the forehead that goes, yo, focus on your shit. Because that's what you want. And when you get that, you're going to be super happy. And now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, now I know exactly what I do need to get up and do every day. And quite frankly, because I want it so badly, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the phone call. I'm going to send that message. I'm going to meet that person. I'm going to have that conversation. I am going to get to the gym. I'm going to go door knock. Whatever. I'm going to post the video. Once we do it over and over and over again, it starts to just work. It starts to just be. And you see too many people quit before the whole compounding thing kicks in. See, if you want to see results, in 90 days, you got to show up for the next 30 days like your business depends on it. Like your life depends on it. Because it does. So here's the deal. If you are behind, it is not too late. You got to move, though. You got to move with urgency right now, okay? We're halfway through the year. We got to stop spinning our wheels, and we have to start taking ownership. Your 30-day reset starts right now. Cut the noise, double down on the lead gen, and follow up like your income depends on it, because it does. And if you need any help, let's talk. You've been listening to the MindShare podcast, whether it's on one of your favorite podcast platforms or directly from my website. One-to-one coaching, MindShare collective group coaching, momentum training. We got options. And if you haven't yet, get yourself in that room for our MindShare Mastermind coming up in Toronto on September 15th to the 17th. Head over to MindShare101.com for all the details and to grab your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle. Follow me at David Greenspan 101 and shoot me a DM. Let me know you're resetting. And until next time, keep building MindShare, because that's how you earn the market share. I want to thank Kids Keep in Touch Systems, REM Magazine, and Revel Realty for their continued support as sponsors of the show. This has been another episode of the MindShare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.